When you grow up in a business, it becomes part of you in every way. Early knowledge is quite sketchy. Going back into the 1880s, when my great-granddad, Henry K. Lee, and William Casey started Francisville Clay Products. At that time, they didn't make any clay tile. They made brick and terracotta. But they got into the clay tile because, of course, northern half of Indiana was a swamp. So they had this tremendous idea of making drain tile to drain the swamp. Then by 1923, my granddad, Earl Overmeyer, bought his father-in-law out and William Casey, and that's when Francisville drain tile got its name. All my granddad made then was drain tile, and basically the rest is history. But through the clay tile days, we kept getting bigger equipment to make more clay, and by 1970, things started progressing towards the plastic drain tile. In those days, one guy couldn't go out and get this equipment and start making plastic. So that's when my dad, along with two others in Illinois that were in the clay drain tile business, went to Germany, saw the equipment, and committed themselves. And they put a plant up, which is that plant in St. Anne. That way, 3 people could afford it, whereas one couldn't. So we started making plastic in '71, and we made clay tile along with it until '77. And at that time, we pulled the plug on the clay, and then everything was plastic. And of course, we really started growing in Francisville because in '75 we had our own plant, and we just kept adding lines. But the only reason why we grew was because the customer needed more of it. Taking care of that customer, doing what he needs, doing what he wants, even though he doesn't need it all the time, but taking care of his needs. And if you enjoy working and doing what you like to do, you're gonna be okay. My granddad, he was 96 when he passed, but that business that he purchased in '23, and it's on the sunrise of being 100 years old, I think he would be just chuckling and smiling, and he'd be very well pleased.